Hey guys, welcome back. So today is the day. Today we put this boat in the water. There is no more waiting, no more waiting for the weather, no more is it raining today, is it too windy to go out? Because that's what we've been dealing with here since I put my big boat in the water. Not today. Today, the Whaler hits the water for the first time since the prop test. The day we did the prop test, just to give you a quick little background on what happened there, was it was raining and it was windy. Tried to film it, couldn't film it. So we just had to get done what we needed to get done to keep things moving forward. We realized everything was good. Engine height was fine. Prop was perfect. Boat did everything it was supposed to do. In rough water. Wasn't fun, but we got it done. Today, it is flat calm. There is no wind. It is a little chilly, but I don't care about that because I'm too excited to be cold. This boat hits the water today, and I can't wait. We're just waiting on the water to come up high enough so we can lower the trailer into the water and get this boat floating. Because we have come a long way, as you know. If you've been following along on all the videos, you know what we've done to this boat. You know what has been done, all the sanding, all the painting, all the prep work, all of the building the console, all of it. Today is the day where the boat becomes serviceable. We get to use it. We get to make memories on it. We get to explore. We get to go fishing. We get to go taking it to places that I've always wanted to go. This is exciting. I'm kind of rambling on because I am just stoked and ready to go. So I'm gonna go wait for the tide to come up, prep everything on the boat real quick, just throw my equipment on it really, that's all it needs to be done. And then once the tide's up, boat goes in, I'm gonna take you guys out with me. We're gonna break the engine in, and then we're gonna be able to run this boat up to 20 hours, do the initial service, and then we are free and clear to just do whatever we want. Stoked, man. This is a day long awaited, and I'm glad you guys are here. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the bell. When you hit the bell, you get notified when we upload, and you'll be able to follow along on everything I do with this boat. Because if you've been watching me build it, now you get to watch me use it. All right? I'll see you when the tide comes up. All right, the moment of truth is here. Long-awaited day is here. Too exciting. We had contact. Whack. There we go. We are in the water, and God willing, the only time we'll come out of the water is when we're going someplace cool. So, motor's down, ready to be fired up, and we're gonna break this in. That's the next step. Okay, so we're in the water now, and we're gonna go ahead and break this engine in. Got my manual here, okay? And it has a pretty specific break-in procedure. Not complicated, but they ask you to be very, you know, they ask you to follow the timelines pretty accurately, which we're gonna do because it's for the good of the engine, and we want this engine to last forever. Listen, these aren't cheap, and we don't like to replace them, so treat them right, they treat you right. So, here we go, break-in period. So, first order of business is we're gonna fire this engine up and let it run for 5 minutes right here at the dock for 5 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna just let that run for 5 minutes. Got the cell phone to time everything up right. These no-see-ums are ridiculous, but that's marina life. So we're gonna let that go for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna do idle speed for 15 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and let this warm up for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna get off the dock, and then you'll be with me heading out. We're just gonna idle around for 15 minutes, and then we'll be able to bring it up to a faster RPM. Okay, we have completed the 5-minute idle, and now we're gonna idle for 15 minutes, which is gonna be over to the gas dock because I am super low on fuel, and I know they only put it in for the prop test, so we're gonna go ahead and take care of that during our 15-minute idle cruise. All right, so I hope this isn't a bad omen. Just took on my first load of fuel, and the poor guy dropped his entire set of keys in the water while trying to give me change. Well, I hope he forgets about me real quick. I don't want to be associated with that kind of bad luck, but I hope he gets it back. He went to get a magnet so he could drop down and retrieve them. It was a big set of keys too, so that's a tough one. Feel for him. Anyway, so we are gonna continue with this idle phase. We got another 10 minutes. I had to break the procedure just to get the fuel. So I'm sitting here idling out, and I'm just, a lot of thoughts are going through my head. Just about everything that I did to get this boat ready for this day. And I can't tell you, man, I'm almost speechless. I mean, you know, typically I don't get that way, but you know, to have this boat in this condition and a brand new engine on it, and just to do everything that I want to do, because again, if you've heard me mention in previous videos, I've had this boat before. I had a 70, I want to say 76 whaler. It was a Currituck. I know I've mentioned it several times, and I loved it. It was so great because you could, pardon me, my camera almost fell. You could take it so many different places. You could do so many different things with it. I'm all about exploring and seeing new harbors. Hey, how are you? Any luck? Enjoy it. Yeah, that's just some of the stuff I love about a boat like this. You're just getting out and talking to people and seeing what they're doing, and you know, just a boat like this allows me to do that. And I've always wanted to get back into it. I had that boat, like I said before. I sold it because I had a bigger boat, and it was a lot to maintain. That was a 28 Pursuit with twin 2-stroke Yamahas on it. Those things love their fuel, but they ran. The boat was awesome. I loved it. I do miss that boat because of what it was capable of doing. But I had to sell the Whaler because I just couldn't, at the time, afford 2 slips, 2 boats. It was just too much. So I had to let it go. But before I had to let it go, you know, my wife and I had taken it, you know, away a few times, and we had, I mean, some of the most fun I've ever had on a boat. You know, we took it to Cape May for our anniversary one time, and we just drove around everywhere on it, and we just had a ball. I mean, just dock and dine, sat in little coves and swam, just lived the salt life that I love to live. And since I got rid of that boat, I had sold the Pursuit. I was coaching baseball like crazy. My son is heavily involved in baseball. He's on a club team now, but I had a travel team, and I'm giving you guys a little bit of a background here. If I've done this before, I apologize, but I just kind of want to share with everybody how we got to today, while I'm sitting here just idling out of the harbor. So it just was a time in my life where I was doing something that I love doing, and I said, I'm gonna sell the boat, and we're just gonna focus on, I was coaching baseball, I was coaching softball. My daughter still played softball at the time, so we were doing that too, and it was a great time in my life. I mean, I don't regret it. And then, I'd always said, well, when I'm done coaching, I'm gonna get another boat. And that's when the sailfish came in to the picture, and I was lucky to find one. It was right before boat prices skyrocketed, and I got in on that boat at a really good price. I was able to sell that motor, get the 300 Suzuki on there for not a lot of money. I didn't put out a lot of money to get that 300. So if you're wondering if I have a lot of money to buy outboards, no, I'm just like everybody else, man. I work hard for my money, but I do try to spend it wisely. And I was able to sell a few things. I had a wave runner, I sold that. I sold the motor right off the back of the sailfish when I got it, and boom, I had the 300. And I always love the Suzukis. There's a lot of great outboards out there. I don't bash any outboard maker. I think it's true when they say that really all outboards in today's market are good outboards. It's a matter of preference. For me, it's Suzuki. I like certain things about it, and I'll get into that in another video maybe, but for me, the Suzuki's worked. Logistically, it worked because, I have Browns Point Marina right here in my home harbor, where if I need service work done, I can get that done. And you see how good they are. They're an amazing group of guys. George and Kevin are phenomenal. I am blessed and lucky to have such, great guys to service my boat, and they're friends now. We've become friends through this process, and it's been amazing. So getting the Suzuki 90 out here, I keep losing my camera, I apologize. Getting the Suzuki 90 was a no-brainer for me. It was an absolute no-brainer. I did kind of flirt with getting a Honda. I wanted to get 100. I was like, let's go max horsepower. I'm a big fan of horsepower. You'll get to know that as you watch more of my videos. However, it was just a no-brainer to get the 90 Suzuki. And so far, I'm very happy with it. The prop test was amazing in the conditions we were out in. Couldn't film it, but I could tell you the boat ran phenomenal, and actually seeing it in those conditions was really, really cool, because I got to see what the boat can do, even with this engine on it, as heavy as it may be. 200 plus pound guys on the boat. The boat did great. We're both sitting on the bench here at one point, so we weren't wheeling through. I mean, the bow was a little up, but it wasn't crazy. It was doable, it was workable. The boat functions well, and that was our concern, that our heights would be right, our prop would be correct, and everything would be, all systems go. And that was great. Once we got past that, it was a matter of just getting the finishing touches done. Hooking up the lights, putting the hatches in, just all that stuff, all that little tedious work that I really didn't film because, I couldn't put a camera anywhere where you'd be able to see what I was doing. I was working in like crazy windy conditions. I mean, in between rain bands. I mean, it was literally just like, let's get it done. It's time to show everybody the boat in the water, and that's what today is all about. So we're gonna get this thing up on plane now, and you're gonna see exactly how we run at 3,000 RPMs for an hour and 45 minutes. No, I am not going to film an hour and 45-minute video at 3,000 RPMs, but I'll show you what the gauges are doing, how we're riding, and I'll give you a little pan around from my seat here as best I can as to what the boat's particularly doing. If I don't get broadsided by this guy in the 26 striper, because he seems to think he owns the channel. So let's get going. I tell you, it really does sound great. And I'm going to tell you right now, this console, I guessed right. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, I nailed it, I'm the best console builder in the world. Certainly no. but I sat in the boat, I made the cardboard mock-up, and then my brother Jimmy and I built it, and it's perfect. I can literally stand up behind this console if it's rough, as you can see. I could grab the wheel, I can drive the boat, I could do everything I need to do. And that was a big important thing, because I want to sit down mostly when I'm driving this boat, just as I want to cruise, I want to go look at stuff and explore. But when I'm fishing, this bench seat is great. I can fish either side of the boat, just throw a leg over, and I can sit here and fish, whether it's in the back creeks or wherever I'm at. And it's going to be super comfortable. I am going to have a pad made for it. It's going to really look great. But we'll go over all that stuff at the end of this video. Right now, let's get this thing to 3,000 and see what she can do. So we're about 3,000, and I tell you, one of the things about four strokes that are amazing is I don't really have to shout into the camera. I hope it's not too windy, otherwise I'll just put music to this. But anyway, 3,000, cruising nice, about 18 knots, all by myself, looking good, feeling good, happy. So we got to do this for an hour and 45 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Where we go, I don't know, but we're going to go there. So an hour and 45 minutes at 3,000. And then we can go to 4, and that should be a lot of fun. Okay, so as per the manual, we've completed the hour and 45 minute 3,000 RPM run. Just up and down in the RPM range, but no higher than 3,000. Now for the next hour, I can run it up to 4,000 RPMs, no higher. Up and down the range, but don't go over 4,000. So now we get to open it up a little bit and cruise a little faster. 3,000 was good. It was about 18, 19 knots. Now let's go find out what 4,000 looks like. Boat's riding great, everything's working fine. We're pumping water, temperatures are good, everything's working great. So We're gonna do this last hour of the crucial part of the braking, because after that I could pretty much run it up and down the range for the next 7 hours, and that completes the 10-hour braking period. But that part, you're basically using the boat, just not over, you know, not excessively riding at a high RPM range. So for the next hour, 4,000, we're gonna go do that. Okay, so we are done with the 60 minutes at the 4,000 range, which we could go up to 4,000 and not over 4,000 for the last hour. We've done that. That's done now. Everything's running smoothly. Everything's running great. Again, couldn't ask for a better day to do this. So the last step is for the remaining 7 hours, I can operate the boat in pretty much any operational range in the RPMs I want to, without being at full throttle for more than 5 minutes. I can tell you I don't run my boats wide open unless I see black clouds overhead. So at this point, all the crucial steps are done. We've got You know, we did our idle, we did our 15 minutes of in gear cruising out. We did the hour and 45 minutes at 3,000. That's the long one. And then obviously the 1 hour at 4,000. Everything's great. We've got that done. Pretty much can run the boat any way I want at this point. And it's ready to use. I mean, I just gotta, you know, for the next 7 hours, I just have to kind of just be mindful of how I'm running the boat. After that, that's 10 hours, broken in, done. Get to 20 hours, change the oil, and then you're pretty much off and running. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. The initial break-in really is those first 3 steps: the idle, the 15-minute cruise, and the hour and 45. Running an hour at 4,000, it's like normal boat use for a boat like this. I mean, I was running anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 RPMs, and I was getting anywhere from 21 to 28 knots. 28 knots is really fast in a 17-foot boat. So it was great. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun coming out here on a day like today and doing this. I'm gonna idle back into the slip, and we're gonna clean this thing up, and gonna give you guys a once overview of this completed project. And yeah, it's ready to use. We're ready to fish on it. And you know what, I don't know if it's a good omen or not, but just as I came off plane to do this little edit, I saw a whole school of stripers swim right under the boat. Water's super clear, lots of stripers around. And yeah, I'm gonna try to get out here as soon as I can with a fishing pole. Kind of wish I brought one today, but I really wanted to focus on getting the important stuff done. And we're done. So it has been a long journey, folks. We have done a lot to this boat, and now everything is running and operating smoothly, so it's time to get out and use it. So we're gonna motor back to the slip, and oh, there's some more stripers breaking over there. Man, I really wish I had a pole right now. All right, well, we're gonna head in, and I'll see you guys on the dock. So here we are back at the dock. I'm going to give you guys a nice once over. One thing I am super religious about is I flush my motor after every time I use it. Every time it pumps salt water through it, it's followed with a freshwater flushing. So that's going to go on for the next 20 minutes. But here's the boat in the slip. Give you guys a once over look at the finished product. And you know what, guys? That's a wrap for this one. From here on in, it's all about using it, making memories, having fun. And if you followed along on the build up until this point, I hope you continue to follow along as we get out and use this boat, because it's what we did all that work for. So guys, thanks for watching. And man, thank you to all of our new subscribers. Hey, the last video, everything just went crazy. It was fun to watch. It was real heartwarming to see, and I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. It's great to see the channel grow. We want to continue to grow the channel, and this boat being in service, well, we're going to be out filming on it and having fun, and you guys will be able to come along with us and see what we're going to do with it. So again, thank you guys for subscribing, and if you haven't, consider subscribing. Hit the like button and hit the bell because you get notified when we upload. Once again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.